As you know, with what we got up there, and in tribute to the victims last Saturday morning, and to people of Squirrel Hill in the city of Pittsburgh, we thought we'd make tribute to them for the game and really for the rest of the year. Just thinking about who we're playing for. We play for this city. We talk about it all the time, and just give us a little bit more motivation to play for the city. So, had a good week of practice. And we're ready to go. We got 3 of them in already by Wednesday, and short week. Virginia is probably the worst team that you could possibly pick for a Friday night game or a Thursday night early game, just because of all the stuff they do. You'll see it Friday night, just how many different formations, shifts, and motions, and everything they do on offense. The 3-4 on defense, and special teams wise, they just do a lot of stuff that you have to be sound and adjust out. So. We actually, as a staff, hate to say this, but at least I know mostly defensively, we put a lot of time into it. Really, last Thursday and Friday, just because of all the stuff they do. So we spend a little time on them prior to even playing Duke. So I think that hopefully will pay off a little bit. We'll find out and go from there. Questions?
What's on the back of the helmet? I didn't see.
It's Pittsburgh Strong. I think it's the same thing. Questions?
How much are you still trying to sort of work through how you utilize this redshirt role with a guy like Philippe or even Michael or Marquez, or do you feel like you've pretty much figured out how you want to use it in this first year of it?
I think you got it's like Michael. We've used 3 Salahuddin, and we're just kind of wait. You never know what happens at your tailback spot. It's like if I use all 4 of them, and then all of a sudden, last week of the season, I've been to places where all of a sudden 2 tailbacks are down. You're going, gosh, why did we could have used Michael now full-time tailback? So we kind of, it's a new rule, so we're just kind of playing with it. It's like, when do you need it? When is it good to use them? When is the right time? Are they giving you jet sweeps? So it all depends on what they're doing defensively. I think that's something we have to look at and make sure we're sharp with.
Does the bowl game count as one of those 4? So you need to account for that as well when you're thinking about.
That's right.
And there's been times where you have guys that you lose during that month, whether it's transfers or injuries and stuff.
You're talking bowl practice?
Yeah, before.
Yeah, or seniors don't play very good or don't play at all. Okay, we've seen that, and we see guys go train somewhere else. So that's why I think this 4 game is such a great rule, and you like to save them. I mean, you talk about how many games you have left, and then if there's a possibility of getting to a bowl game, that's a bonus. But you got to take into account where you go, oh, you don't want to lose all your bullets early. So that's why we got to be smart with what we do. And so we'll make a decision. A lot of times we make it game time. It's not like we have different packages in every week. Sometimes we don't use a package. So, we could have a couple plays in and then say we don't need it, or hey, it's not there today, so it's not even. So you find out what they're, what they line up on tape, what are they lining up today? How are they defending us? So then make a decision based on that.
How much of it is guys forcing their way onto the field, either in what they do in practice or someone like Philippe with what he did in a game, versus making it a strategy of putting someone out there that the other team doesn't have any film on or any tape on?
Well, we're not going to just stick a guy out there that's not getting it done, first of all, trying to win a football game. So it has to do with what you do on the field first. They better, show something on the field that tells you that guy can help us win a football game. And that's what Malik has done. That's what Michael has done. And it's got to be those skill guys that can do that for you.
This probably depends on the individual guys, but generally speaking, have you seen the freshmen seem to remain more engaged than previous years because that carrot's still dangling there?
Maybe. I mean, some of their ears perk up when you say, "Hey, this week might be a shot for you. Let's see what you have." So I think it does keep them perked up. Trying to compare what their faces look like week 8 or 9 compared to what it looked like week 8 or 9 last year. I'm not that smart.
And you had mentioned about talking to the guys about doing their job defensively. How was this week, or the couple days you had, as far as trying to emphasize that? Do you think they're?
It's been good, and I think in practice they're usually good. It's when the lights come on and the cameras are out there, there's people in the stands, and your parents are watching on TV or they're in the stands watching, and you want to go make a play and you try to do too much. But we wouldn't put them on the field if they didn't do it right in practice. but things happen. I mean, I could throw some plays up there and you'd be like, what? And but you know, like I say all the time, when the lights go on, what are you going to do? And again, it comes down to focus. You know, they're not trying to do it. You know, and you know, we just got to make plays.
You mentioned working extra time, trying to figure out what their defense does. How much of the emphasis has been on ball security, knowing that their defense doesn't allow a lot of points?
You know, it's always ball. I mean, ball security. We didn't change anything as far as what we do. You know, we're not worried about the points they don't give up or give up. We're just got to go out and play our game and worry about what we do, not what they do.
And certainly love to run the ball every week like you were able to last week. But what challenges does Virginia's front present that makes them probably tougher than Duke's?
Well, it makes it tougher, and that's why they're ranked where they are defensively in the run game and everything else. But it's a 3-4 defense, and they got Snowden on one side and Peace on the other, and they create problems with the 3-4. Very similar to Georgia Tech defense. So I know they're looking hard at Georgia Tech, and Georgia Tech I think held us to 138 yards rushing at home, which is the lowest yards rushing at home. So if that's any indication about the battle we're going into, now you're going on the road facing a very similar 3-4 defense. So we've got to execute better than we did. We got some other stuff obviously in that we need to do better, and we'll see where it goes.
That being said, you feel pretty good about the play of your offensive line, though? So
far this season?
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, when you rush for almost 500 yards, you feel good, Jeff, of where they are, what they're doing, and I'm happy with the way Coach Borbley's coached them up and gotten them ready week in and week out.
Pat, how much different is it finding out about the tragedy Saturday morning and having to play versus having a chance to kind of absorb everything and see everything that's going on, have a chance to wear things that will honor the victims, and then playing on national television Friday?
Yeah. That morning's tough. I mean, it's tough. Well, you're talking the day of. You're talking, you're getting the news and you're getting an email like, what? Like, almost like it's April Fool's, but you're in the middle of October. So you're someone mentioned it to me, like, did you get the email? I'm like, no. And then I kind of blew it off. I didn't realize, I heard there was, something going on, but I didn't know, anybody was hurt. Then you're kind of like, holy cow. And it becomes real. So, and it affected our kids that morning as well. So it was.
But I mean, for a chance, you've seen the Steelers do it now. The Penguins have a chance on a national stage to kind of show your support and represent the city.
Yeah, man. We're playing for the city, and like we always do, and now we're playing for a little bit more than just the city, playing for those victims and the people, and it's a big thing. And you think about everything that went on yesterday, and with POTUS coming to town, and it gets bigger every day, and now people are burying their loved ones. It's big, and this will be a great show of support.
There was a lot of talk about how the players handled the actual day itself after the game. What about the week following, since the dust gets to settle a little bit?
It's hard, because we get to be around them about 3 hours a day. When they get here, they don't have a whole lot of time to talk. We're talking, we're coaching, we're on the field, we're worried about the focus of what we're doing out there for 3 hours. That's kind of a sad answer I'm giving you, but I'm just kind of giving you the reality of really what you're doing. It's not like you're sitting in their living rooms at night finding out, hey, so look what happened today. I really don't know. We know what happened, and our kids are trying to get locked into what we have to do this week, and I'm sure they're talking about it. I mean, they probably, we had 5 guys yesterday late for class, just trying to get to class because of all the chaos in Oakland. So I'm sure they're thinking about it, on campus, just like we think about it over here. We talk about it when we're in offense and defensive staff meeting rooms about what's going on, and just know what's going on in life. So I'm sure they have their time to talk about it with their friends, girlfriends, loved ones.
Maybe this just comes to mind because Virginia has a Thomas Jefferson guy, but how's Devin Danielson looking in practice? I mean, I know you guys haven't used any true freshmen in that front 7, but he traveled to Notre Dame. So
yeah. Devin's doing good. I mean, Devin has got a lot more reps. Obviously, we took him off the scout team when Keyshawn got hurt, so you may see Devin Danielson in the game. Devin's a tough dude, and he shows the ability to. He's going to be a great player for us, put it that way. So we'll see if we need him, when we need him, but he's ready to go, put it that way. He's ready to go this week if we need him.
You tweet about it every week. Pitt players in the NFL. Levante was here this week. I'm sure that's a recruiting benefit for you. Is there a benefit to the guys on your own team to see guys that they came up with, played alongside, having success at the next level?
There's no question about it. You know, recruiting's great, but it's really not about recruiting. You know, it's about two things. Number one, that he comes back, okay, because he's not from Pittsburgh. He's from Detroit. He's from Michigan, but he comes back here to his his second home. I'd still say Michigan's his first home, but the impressive thing is he loves Pittsburgh enough. He loves his teammates enough to come back here and I even had to talk to our team afterwards. He talked about. I didn't tell him what to talk about. He just talked about keep fighting. Talked about knowledge. I mean, Avante's a guy that Chris LaSalle actually at the Notre Dame game, one of their scouts was there and said, hey, he was looking for me to tell me, but he couldn't find me. Nor did I probably talked to a scout on game day and said, listen, I just want to tell you, Avante Maddox is unbelievable. That guy knows everything to do at every position on the defense, and that's why he's still with us. But Avante went there as a nickel. He told a story yesterday. He really went there as a nickel, and when he got there, he started studying every position in his back end, and now he's playing safety because he has knowledge, and that knowledge is in the back of our room. We talk about it all the time, and he said there's more talented, there's faster guys, there's stronger guys, there's bigger guys with the Eagles, but not all of them know what to do at all positions. So to his advantage, he is a guy that learned here what to do. I mean, he played corner all the time, but knew what to do at safety. And I think it's just a lesson really for everybody to understand that, hey, if you know what to do, you're going to be a much better football player. And that's why he's so good, because not only does he know what to do, he knows what the other guys are doing too, because he's not just worried about himself. And that's what makes him a great competitor. So it was great to have him back, and puts a smile on your face as a coach when your guys come back. And that goes for Aaron Donald, who's back here, obviously a Pittsburgh guy, but comes back here all the time and having the success he's having. I mean, all those guys. I mean, Bam Bradley was back last week. He was on the sideline for the game. He was in practice last week, still recovering from an injury, still with the Ravens. So all those games. Freeze has been back. So all those guys come back, which is, that's why you coach, for those guys to come back, and the kids love seeing them come back.
Anything final? Coach, thank you.